Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to use a TI-83 calculator to find a 95% confidence interval. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to follow up and do the same example that we had before, and we came up with a number. Hopefully I'll get the same number. I used a calculator a bit, but not as much as what I plan to do in this video. So out of a survey of 2,306 Americans, American adults, found that 417 had given blood in the last 2 years. And what we're going to do is we're going to construct a 95% confidence interval for the proportion who have given blood in the last 2 years. Okay, so we're going to use a our solution is not going to use the formulas I went over. Our solution is the TI-83 calculator. And, all right. So the TI-83 calculator does all this math for us, so it sort of takes away all our fun from us. But anyway, we're going to go second, and no, actually we're not doing that. I was thinking of something else. We're going to go stat and then tests. And then we're going to go all the way down to A, which is a 1 proportion Z interval. All right, so we just, enter that. And what we're going to see is that when we do that, we're going to get 1 prop Z int, and we're going to be asked to fill in some numbers here. For X, I put in 417, and I'm going to put 2,306. And then for C level, that's confidence level, I'm going to put in 0.95, don't put 95, put 0.95. And then it says calculate, and then I calculate. And then all that stuff we've been doing, all that talk seems sort of, I don't know, whatever. So this is what we get. We get 1 prop Z int, and then this is interval notation, 16512, comma 0.19654. And it tells us what p hat is. P hat is 0.1808326,106, n is equal to 2306. So this is our confidence interval. And so if I round, and I'm arbitrarily going to decide on the fly that I'm going to do it to a percent with 1 decimal place. So it's between 16.5% to 19.7%. And we did the same problem on another video, but not using that part of the calculator. And I didn't get exactly that. I got 16.4% to 19.6%. So I got when I did it, I got something a little off. And it's not because I necessarily, my technique or the procedures were logically correct, but as I was pointing out, I was rounding numbers as I went along, which is going to get something up. So, so this is how you can find a confidence interval, and you can find a 95% confidence interval. So this is what this means is that you do a survey, and why we're doing the surveys, we want to know how many people are giving blood, and that was a pretty large, survey done there, and we got, the answer is 18%. Okay, so also I'm gonna, all right. So this is our confidence interval. So the answer is p hat is about 18%, but the true value for the proportion is maybe not exactly 18%. It's between 16.5%, 16.5%, and 19.7%. So we have a 95% confidence that it's in between there. It doesn't mean it necessarily has to be in between those numbers.